They laughed at her every single day, the customers, the workers, even the manager. They laughed when she walked into the diner with her backpack still slung over one shoulder and a school badge hanging from her collar. They laughed when she tied her apron around her waist with hands still stained with ink from biology class. They laughed when she picked up their empty plates and wiped tables instead of scrolling on her phone or shopping at the mall like the other girls her age, because they thought she was just a broke teenager with no future, no name, no story. But what they did not know, what they could never guess, was that she was the daughter of the man who owned the entire company, and he was watching everything, and they were about to find out the hard way. She never told anyone who. She never wore the name on her sleeve, never bragged, never asked for special treatment. She just worked hard, stayed quiet, and smiled, even when the jokes cut too deep, even when they called her the broom girl or the table mouse, even when they left messes on purpose, just to see if she would flinch. She never did. She just cleaned faster, studied harder, and kept her head down because she was not there to impress anyone. She was there for something much bigger, something no one could see. She would walk home every night under flickering streetlights, her shoes soaked in dishwater, her back aching from double shifts, and still she would sit at the tiny kitchen table with her textbooks and notebooks, and study until her eyes burned because her mother once told her that real power does not shout. It whispers through sacrifice, and she believed it with all her heart. But everything changed. The day the man in the suit walked into the diner. He walked in just before sunset. Tall, polished, quiet. His dark navy suit looked like it cost more than every table in the diner combined. His shoes tapped the floor like they belonged somewhere better. But his eyes were calm, sharp, scanning the room. Like he was not just here for food. He was here for something else. And the moment he sat down at booth 5 near the window, the manager rushed over, smiling wide, faking warmth the way people do when they think someone important has money to spend. She was cleaning table 2 when she saw him. Her heart jumped, but she kept her head down because she recognized him. Not from TV, not from magazines, but from the family photo albums her mother used to hide in the back of the closet before she passed away. He was her father's partner, his right hand in every board meeting, the man who had watched her grow up from behind gold-rimmed glasses and white marble desks. And now he was here watching her mop a floor covered in soda stains and broken fries. The others kept laughing, not knowing, not seeing what was coming. They whispered and snickered about how she was going to mess up his order, or trip in front of him, or spill something on his nice shirt and lose her little after-school job. And one of the waitresses even said in a loud enough voice, "If she ruins this tip, I'm going to lose it." And the manager just smiled and told her to go take his order, like she was being thrown to the lions. So she walked over slowly, her hands trembling, not from fear, but from the weight of what this moment might mean. And when she reached his table, he looked up slowly and said, "Your father would be proud of you." And just like that, every voice in the room died. Every plate, every fork, every fake smile froze in place. The manager turned pale. The laughing waitress dropped her pen, and one of the busboys muttered, "Wait, what did he just say?" And the man stood up, buttoned his suit jacket, and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "That girl right there is the daughter of the man who built this entire company from nothing, and she is working harder than anyone else in this building, without ever once asking for special treatment, and you should all be ashamed." The silence that followed felt like thunder. Not one person moved. Not one person dared to speak, and she just stood there with her eyes wide, her throat tight. Her past, present, and future colliding in a single moment. She never asked for this. She never wanted to be known like this. But now the truth was out, and no one could unhear it. He reached into his pocket and handed her a letter sealed with the company emblem and said, "Your father left this for you before he passed. He wanted you to have it when you were ready, and you showed us all that you are more than ready." And then he placed a gentle hand on her shoulder and walked out, leaving a diner full of stunned faces and one girl holding the keys to a legacy. She stood there for a long moment, holding the letter like it was made of glass, then slowly walked into the break room, sat on the same crate she used to rest her aching feet every night, and carefully opened it. The handwriting was his strong, bold, full of pride and love. And as she read her father's words, her hands began to shake again. But this time, not from exhaustion, from something deeper. Something like coming home after years lost in the dark, He wrote that he knew she would not take the easy road, that she would never use his name to open doors or demand respect. He wrote that he trusted her to find her own way, that he believed in her more than anyone, and that one day this company, this dream he built from scratch, would be hers, but only if she earned it with her own hands and her own heart. And she had done just that. Every shift, every table, every night she walked home alone, she had proven who she was. Not just his daughter, but a leader. Someone who could carry the name with honor. She wiped her tears, stood up, and walked back into the diner, her eyes clear, her back straight. The laughter was gone, replaced by silence, by shame. The manager looked at her like he wanted to apologize, but the words never came, and she said softly, but loud enough for everyone to hear, "I will finish my shift like I always do, because this job matters. Every job matters. And no one should ever be laughed at for working hard, ever again." The next day, she did not come in to work. But a notice was posted on the diner door. A new name under new management. The company had bought back the location under her signature, and the staff returned to find a completely new atmosphere, a new standard, and a new boss. The same girl they once called the Broom Girl, now standing behind the counter as their employer. The man in the suit returned once more to congratulate her, and this time everyone stood and clapped, because they finally saw her. Not just as a worker, not just as a girl, not just as a name, but as a force. Her story traveled far. People started asking who she was, how she stayed so humble, how she kept going when others would have quit. And the answer was simple: she believed in herself when no one else did. And she worked not for attention, but for purpose, for pride, for legacy. And that made all the difference. And now, if this story touched your heart, if you believe that no job is too small and no dream is too far, then please like this video and share it with someone who needs to remember their worth. And if you want more powerful stories that show how strength comes from the quietest places, then please subscribe to our channel right now. Because every view, every click, and every heart shared helps us keep telling the stories that truly matter. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next story.